Okay, so I wasn't planning this video. This was just totally off the cuff, totally unexpected, because the video is on Erik Ten Hag, the Manchester United manager, being sacked. So I guess the former Manchester United manager. Yeah, unexpected for me anyway, for sure. That's why this video is unplanned, because it just happened, what, half an hour ago? Now, I'm not a Manchester United fan. I used to be when I was younger, actually, in primary school. But not anymore. Anyway, regardless, I just thought I'd give my thoughts on it. Now, I think, before we go any further, I think there is something wrong at Manchester United. Cristiano Ronaldo came back after his first spell. He left to go to Real Madrid and he became one of their greatest players ever. I believe the record goal scorer. We all know what Ronaldo's went on to do, so keep that in mind with what I'm about to say here. So he comes back after leaving Real Madrid. He went to Juventus, and after winning a lot of things with Juventus, he came back to Manchester United. And he even said himself, he said, this club has stood still. They call the staff, staff, that's irrelevant. I guess that's a good thing actually, but little things like the training ground, the gym, he says everything's still the same. They've not moved forward. You need to move forward. If you're moving still, sorry, if you're not moving and you're staying still, you're actually moving backwards because everyone else is moving forward, and I totally agree with him. So that culture, that mentality, that's not the manager's fault. Another thing, pardon me, is yeah, sorry about that. So another thing I wanted to comment on was just recently the new owners of Manchester United have came out and said, or asked Manchester City if they'd be willing to share a plane to go to the Ballon d'Or awards. I mean, I'm assuming anybody that's watching this is a football fan, so they'll know what the Ballon d'Or awards is. It's rewards for best players of the year. There's nominated players from Manchester United and Manchester City. So the new owners of Manchester United have came in and yeah, they've proposed to Man City that they share a plane to go to the awards to save money, I guess. Now I know what's happened there. These new owners have came in not knowing football culture, football history, rivalries, etc., and how important they are. And they've looked at all possible ways of saving money, and they've identified that as one in the short term. Let me tell you, that's so embarrassing for Manchester United. It makes them look weak, inferior. A lot of people won't get this, but it just does. You don't ever bow to any of your opponents, especially your rivals or one of your rivals, and basically admit that you're broke and you're trying to make savings. Some things are worth the money, some things aren't, and some things are certainly worth the humiliation, and some things aren't. That's not one of them. That's not worth, because that just perceives Manchester United as in trouble and looking to Man City, their rivals, for support, for help. No, I can assure you, the Manchester United fans, they'll be embarrassed by that. Certainly the majority. I mean, I cannot imagine my club, Celtic, going to Rangers and saying that to them. They would get laughed at. Just would not happen. So, getting back to what we were saying before, that's a mentality at that club. It's an inferiority complex. They don't have a winning mentality. So I'm going to make a bold prediction. Whoever comes in, whoever manager it is, they're going to have the same problems. I think Erik Ten Hag is a good manager and was a good manager with Manchester United, but there's only so much you can do when you're dealing with a bunch of losers. Like, sorry to be harsh, but it's true. I mean, you could argue who's the loser here. I'm sitting here at fucking, what time? 20 past. What time is it? Irrelevant anyway, right? I'm half free and I'm being making a video on these multi-millionaires. You know, but it's all about context. Like, There is a problem with that club at the core, with the higher ups, and that trickles down with your mentality. So the glory days of Sir Alex Ferguson being the manager of Manchester United, they're long gone. They can always come back. No one knows the future. Only God knows the future. But Erik Ten Hag has been sacked, and I think it's just papering over the cracks. Is the message I'm sending here. There is a loser mentality within that club. Even though, like I said before, even though they're multi-millionaires, these players and these business owners, so who's the real loser? But listen, all that glitters isn't gold, and there's real problems there, so let's see what happens.